Welcome everybody back to Harbor Discussions. This is episode number 22. Today I'm in here with King Lop. He is an independent artist and he is the CEO of Bottom Boys Music Group. Before we get started with all the formal questions and stuff, you want to go ahead and promote your social medias and where everybody can listen to your music?
My Instagram, you can find me on Instagram. It's not underscore. It's at what is my Instagram? The official underscore King Lop. That's pretty much all my socials. You can find me on Google, SoundCloud, all the streaming platforms. Just King Lop.
Awesome. So from what I understand, you're from the Sykesville area, right?
Yeah.
So what was it like growing up in the area that you grew up in?
I moved when I was probably up until I was about 6. I grew up in Sykesville, so
Okay.
it was just normal Carroll County stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Going to school, hanging out with people, doing shit like that. It's nothing crazy.
So you ended up moving from Sykesville after you were 6?
Yeah, once I turned 6, we moved to Howard County.
Okay.
And I ended up going to Bushy Park Elementary.
Gotcha.
So once we moved over there, I stayed there till what was it? I stayed there till I was in high school. Actually, it was ninth grade. I think my freshman year, we ended up moving to Mount Airy after that.
Gotcha.
So
Bouncing around.
Yeah, I was bouncing around, but I always ended up being around the Sykesville area.
I gotcha. So more or less, no matter where you were, it was the same.
Yeah.
Kind of. I gotcha.
Yeah, always come back to Sykesville though.
I got you. I was watching the Adderall remix video, and I saw one of the frames which showed a sign that said Schoolhouse Road Apartments.
Yeah.
Is that kind of where you?
Yeah,
grew
that's where I grew up at. A lot of my family, they lived there for years, generations and shit.
I gotcha.
So it's that's where the whole Bottom Boys thing came from.
Perfect.
It's cause we call that the bottom down there at Schoolhouse.
Yeah. So is there a reason you call it the bottom, or is that just kind of falling?
It was I can't remember exactly how that started with the whole bottom thing. You know what I mean? But I think it's because it's at the bottom of the hill.
See, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know if it was location based.
Yeah, I think it's more of a location thing. But as I was growing up, we all just called it the bottom. So it was
I got you, because Drake got that started from the bottom, so
yeah.
I didn't know if it had something to do with that meaning.
Nah, it was just that's just what I grew up knowing it as. So that's what I started calling it. And then once we started making music, we just branched off and made the Bottom Boys.
I got you. So as a kid, I read that you were always into music and rapping, and you got your mom got you a karaoke machine when you were 10, and you would throw CDs in there, rap to whatever song came on. Now, when you said rap to whatever song came on, is that kind of rapping to anything other than rap? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Whatever came on. Usually it was because it was a karaoke machine, so I think I had to put CDs in.
Gotcha.
So it was whatever CD I put in there.
What kind of CDs can you remember?
A couple of them I do remember. I had the 50 Cent, the Get Rich or Die Trying. That was one. I was rapping that every day. I feel like that was just a classic.
I got you.
What else? I had some Lil Wayne albums. I would just rap over a whole bunch of stuff. I memorized the words and I just try to, try to rap over it and shit.
What other kind of music would you say influenced you, when you were super young?
Super young? I'd say mainly hip hop. I grew up I didn't grow up listening to just hip hop. My family, I had a kind of diverse family, so it was there was country music, and growing up in Carroll County, you're gonna hear country music.
Guaranteed.
You're gonna hear all kinds of shit going on here. So it's I can't really say hip hop is the only thing I ever listened to.
Yeah.
It's just what I gravitated to the most. You know what I mean? So it was once I stuck with the hip hop, actually it's crazy because I used to know how to play guitar.
Oh shit, okay.
And so I was actually into guitar when I was younger, so I know how to play guitar a little bit.
Were you playing acoustic or electric?
Both.
Okay,
both.
shit, cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I also read that it was you didn't start taking music too serious till 2015. You met a friend named Polo.
Yeah.
So you and him made music together and whatnot.
Yeah, shout out my man Polo.
So were you rapping under King Lop then?
Then yeah, I was going by King Lop actually.
So how did you actually get the name King Lop?
I mean, growing up, everybody always called me Lop, and I can't remember how the King part got added into it, but it was just like a maybe a persona thing. I don't know, but it was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's what people started calling me, so that's just what I stuck with.
Yeah, I feel like, when it comes to wanting to be successful with anything,
Hmm.
especially like rap music, though, I feel like there's a sort of cockiness that you have to have.
Right, you gotta have a little bit of Well, I can't really say cockiness, maybe like confidence. I would
Right.
say
Yeah. Yeah.
you
That's
gotta
that's a
have
better word.
you gotta have that confidence. Like you can't let people's actions or people's words bring you down or affect you in a certain way that might, throw you off your course. Cause once you do that, it's a downhill spiral. You know what I mean? I actually was trying to get out of something similar to that recently. So I know how it is when you can't really put all your focus into music. You can't really do a bunch of things you want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Life just kind of getting in the way sometimes.
Yeah. So, were the songs that you made with Polo, were those the first songs that you ever made, or were you making stuff
Yeah.
before that?
With Polo, when we first started, like, cause when I met him, I was, we went to this show and it was actually his show, but I think it was Mick Jenkins. I'm not sure if you know
Okay.
who that is.
The name kind of rings a bell.
Yeah, I think it was like he was doing a show with him too, but I ended up seeing him perform, and I was just like, damn, like that shit's cool as shit. You feel me? I was like, that's cool as hell, just watching the whole performance and all that and everything.
Yeah.
So, that's when I decided I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a try, but I didn't start making music then. I was just like more or less just freestyling, and like when he would rap, I would throw a couple bars out there.
Okay.
But
Okay.
like he ended up one day he was just like, bro, like I don't know what it is, but you got like a knack for freestyling. Like you can come up with this shit. You feel me? He's like, I
Definitely.
think you should stick with it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, nah. You feel me? I was like, nah, this shit's not me. You feel me? And he was like, nah, bro, for real. Like, I can see you doing this shit. Like,
Yeah, well, even freestyling good is hard. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So many people do it. Like even some of my friends who like got nothing to do with rap music. They freestyle and stuff like that,
yeah.
and it's like you can tell it's not for everybody.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things. Like, you definitely have to practice. Because, like, I
Hell
can
yeah.
say firsthand, I can move this up.
Yeah, you're good.
I can say firsthand, like, when I first started rapping, I was absolutely terrible. Like, this is for people who are just starting out or people who have been doing it for a while. If you feel as though you're not the best at what you're doing right now, you know what I mean? Don't let that get to you because it takes time. You know what I mean? Just like everything else, you know what I mean? You want to go play football, you got to train, you got to practice, you got to do all this the same exact way.
You're gonna make mistakes, all
Right.
that.
Right.
You
So
know.
like it took me a while to get actually good at freestyling and stuff like that. But once I got good at it, that's when I really like started taking it serious.
Yeah, is it just a lot of solo practice?
Yeah,
You
just
know.
sitting in the car, like honestly, it's therapy sessions for me. That's what I call them sometimes, because it's like once I lock in and I sit there, I will spark up a blunt. I
Yeah.
might be sitting in the car late night. You feel me? And I'll spark up a blunt and I'll just chill and just freestyle for hours. That shit just comes to me. I'll just freestyle. But over time, you just get better.
Now, do you find it easy to just freestyle about almost anything, or do you have to like kind of be freestyling about something that's
Mm,
true to you?
it's a mix, I would say, cause like um, when I freestyle, most times I just do it like off topic. Like it
Right,
doesn't have to
right.
be off topic. But also, I start to run out of things to say, so it's like I need a topic at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's
definitely.
like a lot of times I actually to challenge myself, I pull up this. It's like a random word generator.
Okay,
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
I'll pull up that, and I'll just rap whatever word comes up. I'll shuffle like 20 words, and I'll just keep rapping until I complete the whole list. You know what I mean? And then eventually,
Gotcha.
I'm working on my vocab and I'm working on my. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like, yeah,
Definitely.
I can spark this in.
Hell yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's pretty much happening every day down here, anyways.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, because anytime, like, I've tried freestyling a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and I've always had trouble just coming up with shit off the top of my head. But if I start thinking about something
Yeah.
that I like, like a fight or some shit like that,
Mm-hmm.
I can kind of make more of a story.
Right.
I like that's the thing. I've always kind of been able to write a story.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I'm just writing, any
I mean,
kind
that's
of
all rapping is really is telling a story. Like that's all you're really doing.
definitely.
But it's like, I mean, I feel like when you have a topic, it's definitely easier to come up with things to say versus not having a topic and have to just come up with it. I think that's something I'm more developed over time. You know what I mean? Being able to rap off topic and stuff like that.
Yeah, what kind of beats do you like to freestyle over?
Pretty much anything.
I got you.
Anything. Like I've had friends throwing random shit like Mariah Carey. You can name like random stuff. Like it don't matter. I'll rap.
I was gonna bring this up earlier because, like I said, you know, when I read like you rap over anything as a kid, I'm thinking like Mariah Carey CDs.
Anything,
and you just...
bro. I'm trying to tell you, my mom had all types of stuff. Luther Vandross. I'd throw anything in there. I rap over them. Like.
Yeah, like you know that song "Who I Smoked" that came out. Yeah, it reminded me of that because they had the 1,000 Mile song.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Nah, they definitely knew what they were doing with that song.
Hell
they
yeah.
knew it was gonna get that attention with that beat, especially because it's like, who's gonna rap over that beat of all beats? You feel me? And then to be saying the things they were saying on there, it's like
disrespectful. And Zanman, a local Maryland rapper, he did a iCarly remix, which actually goes hard as hell.
Hell yeah! Shout out Zan too.
Shoot shit like Freddie.
Yeah, I that's one of my homies too.
Hell yeah.
We actually got a collab tape on the way.
Hell yeah.
I haven't told very many people about it yet, but we got like a EP. It's like 6 songs.
Hell yeah, that's what's up.
Something like that. We're going to drop sometime this year or next year.
Yeah, he's someone I would definitely like to interview at some point. I'm glad you came, first and foremost, because I'm trying to, expand into rappers, more rappers, and just anybody outside the, the metal space that I've been into.
That's what you were doing, like normally the metal scene? I mean.
Yeah, because, they've been the most supportive, really.
Right.
I've reached out the most to them, I guess. They've been the most willing to come on and stuff, so yeah, definitely. And no one really has like a podcast around their scene yet, so I was like, I figured I'd help promote them and stuff. That's
actually very true. I haven't seen any kind of podcast or anything like that really with like metal music or anything other than hip hop.
Yeah, there's a couple of them here and there, but they're no big ones. Yeah, no, it's definitely something that I'm hoping to change and stuff like that. But also, I want to, it's like I said, I'm inspired by Vlad, No Jumper, shit like that. So obviously, I want to get like rappers and everybody like that.
Hell yeah.
So in 2016, you and your cousin Devon did the Ghetto Studio, from what I read.
Yeah, the Ghetto Studio. That shit. My man's Devin. Like that's my blood cousin. Like we grew up since we were babies together. Like we're only 7 months apart. Our moms are sisters, so we did everything together. You know what I mean? You name it. We grew up doing that shit together. At this time, my grandmother, she was moving out of the house that she was living in, actually to move to Sykesville, to move to the bottom, which is funny. But so we just found a bunch of stuff around the house. It was like we found a coat hanger.
Yeah.
We found like
a sock.
Yeah, bro. It was like we found so much shit, like just endless stuff we could find to make anything studio related. We had it. Like we were using like toilet paper for like the acoustics. You know what I mean? It was just like it was crazy.
It's cool though that you tried making it work.
Right,
because using what you have.
Right. I had the knowledge of it. I'm like, I know what I need, and I know how to get this to sound like this or how to do this, but I didn't have the resources, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, most people are gonna go, I don't have the money, I don't have this, I'm not even gonna try. Yeah, so yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah, that's definitely, I feel like what made us different than a lot of people. You know what I mean? The fact that we took what we had and made do.
Hell yeah. So this is when you really started to take your music serious. Yeah. What would you say was like the first serious like tape project that you put together?
First serious tape project. I'd have to say probably the Come Up.
Okay.
That might be like the first tape that I made that I feel like was like, you know what I mean, something I wanted to put out there. You know what I mean? Because the stuff I was making before, it was not good in my opinion. People said they liked it, you know what I mean? But me, I didn't like it.
I gotcha.
But like, I think the Come Up, actually, I gotta say, the Come Up or Backwoods and Love Songs.
Okay.
Because that is my favorite, I think, mixtape I ever dropped, anything like that.
And that's kind of shows, more of a different side, right?
Yeah, that's because, like, people were always saying like I was making like hype music, you know what I mean, stuff like that, party
Definitely.
music all the time. You know what I mean, that was like my vibe at first. 'Cause I was young, I was just doing reckless stuff, so I was making reckless music. But then like somebody was like, I bet you can't make a love song or anything like that. You can't switch it up and do some R&B stuff. I'm like, oh, all right, you know what I mean. So I took the challenge and I ended up doing it. And it's crazy because my cousin Tev, he 1300 Tev. You can find him on Instagram and all that stuff too. And my cousin Devin, that's Lou Got Drip. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, my cousin Tev. So we we told each other we were gonna make these tapes and like we were gonna drop them on Valentine's Day.
Yep.
Whole time we procrastinated. It was like February 12th, I think it was. We're like, shit. Neither of us had anything for this whole tape. We're like, bro, we're supposed to drop this shit in 2 days. Like, we're like, fuck it. We're gonna lock in and we're gonna cram this shit out. So like at the time I had my own spot and I had a studio that I built in there. It was just a laptop. I ended up getting the foam panels, you know, the ones you put on the wall.
Yeah.
And I actually had a real pop filter this time. So you feel me? I didn't have to make one out of a sock and a coat hanger.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how did you upgrade your studio? You know, and what are you even working with now compared to what you started?
Well, like then I was just to upgrade it. I really started with the MacBook. That was like the key thing I really needed.
Right.
And then I had a Rock Band microphone. Like, you know, Rock Band, you probably that game was cool. But I took the microphone off that and I would just plug it into the laptop and we would use that.
Okay, shit.
And so cuz it was like a USB one.
Yeah.
And after that, I just, you know what I mean, started getting some money. You know what I mean, I wasn't as broke as I was then, so I started, you know what I mean, upgrading. I started buying this, buying that here and there. And I bought a microphone, laptop, so I had everything I needed at this point.
Yeah, you buy it online or is it?
Yeah, Amazon.
Yeah, right.
I think that's where I got pretty much everything from my studio.
Yeah, even like I feel like there's not really a lot of places around here to buy that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Even the music stores, I feel like that was more centered around like, school
violins and
yeah, exactly. yeah recorders and shit. Yeah. So I'll be honest, my notes are a little bit all over the place here, so I'll just go with what I have. I read in one of your other interviews that you missed a call with Universal Music Group, or you got a call from them, and you wanted to they wanted to negotiate a contract. You spoke for about 10 minutes, and then the fucking call failed.
Yeah, bro.
Now, is this the call from QC?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Basically, like, it was they're like what's the word I'm looking for? A subdivision of like Universal. So it's like Motown Records, I think is exactly the label that it was.
Okay.
And they own QC.
Right.
Well, QC just sold their rights away, so I don't know what they own now. You know what I mean? But I'm kind of glad I didn't make that decision then, because who knows what would have happened being tied up and all that shit. But
yeah.
Fucking so yeah, Universal, like, I got a call, and I picked the call up. I didn't know who it was, none of that. So I'm like, I'm thinking someone's pranking me at this point. You know what I mean? I'm like, because there's a guy, he's like, yeah, my name's blah, blah, blah with Motown Records, Universal Music Group, blah, blah, blah. He's like, we wanted to negotiate a contract with you. We wanted to see, I mean, fly you out and see what you're thinking. And I'm like, at first I'm in shock. Like, the whole phone call, I'm just in shock. I'm really just, like, sitting there wondering if it's real. Like,
definitely.
It's like, that doesn't happen at, like, where we come from. You know what I mean?
Man,
like,
and there's so many scams too. Right. That's the thing.
Right. So I'm like, what the heck? So I'm talking to him. He's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to give up a dime. He's like, we're going to fly you out. We're going to pay for your hotel. We're going to pay for everything. You know what I mean? All you got to do is come to our headquarters. I think it was, I can't remember. I think it was either New York or I think San Francisco, California. I think those were the two where they were trying to send me to.
Right.
Because the headquarters there's one in New York and then there's one in San Francisco. But so we were talking for like 10 minutes. They're getting my information, and out of nowhere, like the call failed. Like, I had shitty service at my house, so like the call failed, and like I'm just in shock even more at this point. Like, damn, that really happened? Like, what the fuck? So all my cousins were there too. My cousin Tev, my cousin Devin, my cousin
reaction.
Sean. So we're like all just sitting there like, damn, this is really happening right now. So like after the call failed, we're all just like, damn, like what's gonna happen next? So I'm waiting for a phone call back.
Yeah.
I don't know who to call because like I had the number on my phone, but once I called the number back, it would be like, yeah, you reached Universal Music Group. Dial the extension you need. So like I never got an extension, so I had no idea like what to do at that point.
Right.
So at this point, it's just a waiting game. So I'm like waiting for a phone call, waiting for a phone call. Days go by, weeks go by, and I'm like, what the fuck? You feel me? Like, I missed out on $1 million opportunity, literally.
Right.
$1 million opportunity. And it's like, I try not to let it get to me, you feel me? But it's like,
definitely, that shit
like,
happened for a reason, dude.
It definitely did. It's like, if I can do it once, I can definitely do it again. So that's why I haven't been stressing it that much, because there's a reason they were trying to get in contact with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, especially where we come from. Like, smallest town ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, they see people that are talented, but they also see people who come from places like this. They're like, man, they can't not, afford to, take the deal and stuff. They know the position you're in and stuff like
so
that.
So they know that it's easy, for one, if they wanted to finesse you. Or, you know what I mean?
Because, despite where you come from, don't nobody know shit about how the industries work and stuff like that. You got to be in it to really know.
That was actually, like, a big thing for me, because, like, at the time, I would have signed anything.
Right.
Like, I'm not even going to lie. I would, like, especially what we was doing, all the stuff we were doing at the time, it's like, bro, I would have signed anything. They could have told me they had 20,000 for me, bro. I would have.
Hey, 20,000's a bag still.
You know, I'd have been, hey. But like, I'm way smarter than that now. You know what I mean? I know my worth 100%. I'm just thankful that it didn't go through, because who knows what could have happened.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I could have signed a contract that ended up messing me over for the rest of my life, putting me in debt.
Right.
Never know, but.
Independence is definitely the way to go long term. It takes longer, but it pays off.
Yeah,
you get your own masters, stuff like that.
Sure.
You get paid every time your song gets played, and you get the full amount that you should be getting paid.
But once I learned all that, I was like, you know what I mean? I was like, I don't even really want to sign. Like, what's the point in signing if I can do it myself?
Right.
So that's when I really started locking in and doing it all myself. And, ever since then, it was just, like, pretty simple at that point to just keep grinding it out and keep working.
Nah, definitely. So how, like, what was your exact reaction? Like, did it cut off mid conversation? Where, I imagine at first you're still trying, like, hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
I can't really remember the exact conversation, because it was like, I think that was like, 4 years ago now? But
yeah, it's crazy to think it has been that long, man.
2019, 4 years ago. It's crazy.
COVID screwed everything up.
Everything. My memory, everything. It seems like before COVID, like, didn't really exist almost. Like, it was like COVID just kind of changed everything. But
it did.
Yeah, so like I was saying, like, once the call failed, bro, it was like so many emotions were going through my head, I didn't even know what to think. But
yeah, I know I'd be like, I'd be damn near throwing my phone.
Yeah.
Fucking.
I was definitely sick. Like, I'm gonna say that. I was definitely sick. Cause like I just wanted to be in a position to take care.
And at the time too, QC was definitely like popping for sure.
Yeah, just like they just signed Lil Baby. They had Yachty. They had
those tapes were probably coming out too.
So it was like I definitely was looking at that like, damn, I definitely want to sign to them. You know what I mean? But,
yeah, man. Because I'll be honest, I had always kind of been listening to you and stuff like that, all the hype stuff and stuff like that, and preparing for this and stuff, I was reading up, and when I read that, I was like, oh my god. I was like, I felt for you,
bro,
dude.
It was crazy because like I feel like at that point, like 2019, I was just putting in so much of the grind. It was like I deserved it almost, but. Yeah. I'm more of like a humble person, so I don't want to say I like deserved it, but it's like when you put a grind into a certain thing for so long.
No, definitely.
And then like it's like you get an opportunity like rip from you kinda. It's like damn, like you know what I mean, it's like.
Yeah, you start to wonder like, damn God, why you even show me this?
Why you do that to me?
You just tease me right here.
For real.
But not, it's like you said, you know your worth now, and you probably would have got caught up in a horrible contract.
I definitely would've. But like now I know for sure. I actually took some time to understand the music industry a lot more and really just go in depth and really like learn things. You know what I mean? Because that's how people get finessed. Like you just don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
People just
I feel like you hear about a lot of rappers that, a lot of rappers talk about, I can't release, I can't drop because of my label, stuff like that.
Yep.
Was hearing that all the time kind of like informative for you, hearing other rappers talk
I mean,
about.
that was like a big thing. It was like I wanted to do it more. I wanted to learn more. You feel me? Because I kept seeing these other rappers who were clearly way more well off than me.
Right.
And they were having these problems that I could have been having. You see what I'm saying? So like that definitely made me step back and be like, wow, I could have rushed into something, and because I didn't know this person a year ago. I didn't know this rapper 3 years ago, so that could have been me. You know what I mean?
Guaranteed.
And it's like I could have finessed myself just like they did. But luckily, a lot of them are able to get out of their contracts, buy out, and stuff like that. But I'm glad I never went through that whole process.
Definitely.
I mean, I like to think that it would have been smooth. You feel me? I would have came up on some M's or whatever. I like to think.
Yeah,
that,
nah, definitely. Like you would have, gotten more buzz with that. Just being under the QC label would have gotten, the numbers, But again, it's like double-edged sword. Fame in general, it's like you get the money, you get the notoriety, but then, you
don't got privacy.
Exactly. That's the kind of shit I worry about, cuz like
me, I'm like a private person, like
right.
I like to stay to myself a lot, so it's like I feel like if I really don't want to be famous. I'm going to be honest with you. I really do not want to be famous. But obviously, once you
want to be successful.
Right, I want to be successful, but it comes with it. You mean? So it's like you kind of got to suck it up. But at the same time, if I had it my way, I wouldn't take that route. Cause I'm like a private person. I stay to myself a lot. I chill. I smoke my weed, and I mind my business. You know
Hell
what I mean?
yeah.
I don't like to get into a lot of shit.
And out here, it's not even, you got to drive to like Baltimore or DC to really get into, city stuff. Other than that, it's rural as hell. It's real quiet. So that's probably where that comes from, for real.
Yeah, a lot of times I just be posted up chilling, you know what I mean, by myself, cooling. Like, obviously, I chill with my friends, my family, shit like that. But
yeah, getting around the wrong people though, man, that shit'll bring you down.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. I learned that lesson, and that's a road I don't ever want to take again. You know what I mean? Just putting yourself in bad situations that you know about. You know what I mean? Like you know better. You know what I mean? And you do it anyway.
I've talked about it before. There ain't much to do around here. If you don't have the money, if your parents don't have the money to give you and stuff like that, there ain't nothing to do but bad shit around here. Really, it's like. Even if it's little shit, dumb shit, it's still stuff you ain't supposed to be doing. But we, it's all we know down here.
Oh yeah, it's like if your parents aren't putting you in football to where you're tied up in that shit after school, or you're gotta go to book class after school, or whatever you're doing after school, or some shit like that, you're definitely gonna be doing some fucked up shit.
Yeah, you're in the streets.
Yeah, you're doing something. Like it doesn't matter where you come from. Like time.
Hell yeah.
Like they say, time's the devil's playground. You know what I mean? And that's the truest thing ever. Cause like when you have time, you get stuck in your head. Anything. You know what I mean? It's like.
Yeah, and it's like I feel like some people just don't understand. You know what I mean? Cause it's like we got parks and shit, but I remember being little as hell. And my friend telling me he found a heroin needle and shit at the park, and it's like, welcome to our parks.
Yeah, bro, you kind of lose your innocence kind of early once you are just outside doing nothing all the time. Like me and my guys, like we was just doing whatever. Like we had so much time. We didn't have jobs. We weren't doing nothing productive with our lives before the music and before, our lives really started.
Yeah, but I borrow that lighter, bro.
Yeah. We were just living reckless, doing reckless stuff. Going to Ocean City, doing whatever, just doing a whole bunch of shit, man.
I ain't never been to Ocean City.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like,
Ocean City?
Yeah, that's some Maryland shit, I know.
That's crazy. You lived in Maryland your whole life?
Yeah, I was born in Denver, but I lived here my whole life.
That's crazy, and you never been to Ocean City.
I know I need to go, but I kind of I've seen pictures and shit.
I mean, you're not missing nothing, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna be honest, you're not missing nothing, but it's just I feel like if you are from Maryland, you got to, bro. You got to.
Now I'll definitely go for sure at some point, but I know senior week.
Yeah.
I think I just ended up going to Colorado or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot, or I went to
Ocean City. I'd much rather go to Colorado than be an OC. Fuck that.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know, man. There's a lot of memories they say you gotta make. Like I know one year I went to my sister's wedding instead of homecoming, but that wedding was lit.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Fucking. And
I don't think I ever really went to. Actually, nah, I did go to homecoming like once or twice, but
you gotta have a good date for that.
yeah,
shit.
I didn't go to prom or
I never
anything
went
like
to that either.
Yeah.
That shit is so expensive.
Yeah, I was like,
For
bro,
what?
I was like, I'm not paying $100 to go. I think ours that year might have been, I can't remember where it was at, but you had to pay some money, and I'm like, fuck that. I'm gonna go buy me some weed. You know what I mean? I'm gonna chill with my guys. We gonna get high.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's one thing because you gotta buy the tux.
Right.
You know, you gotta buy flowers and shit
Right.
for your girl, and that's all fine. But then you gotta pay all this absurd money because your high school wants to have it as some fucking fancy dance
You feel
place.
me?
I thought they had budgets for this shit, man.
Clearly not.
Nah.
Like I went to Glenelg, so like that was like a bunch of like rich Howard County kids and stuff like that.
Okay.
And like I mean it was like I don't know. It was different. I'm gonna say it was different. Like me, I think in my grade, I was one of like 10 black kids. I think at the whole grade, I think, or some shit like that, or maybe the whole fucking school. I don't even know.
And you said it was like more of a upper, like, higher.
Yeah, like they were like there was a lot of rich kids that went there and shit like that. Like a lot of kids I went to school with, their parents definitely had mansions and shit. And like I mean, I was cool with that because I was cool with everyone. So
right. Did some of them though have that kind of attitude of like I'm better,
some of them, but like a lot of them were cool as shit. Like I had a lot of friends, so it was like I would hang out with everyone. So I would be at a mansion one week.
Hell yeah.
I'd be at a trailer park the next week. You feel me? Like I had friends everywhere, so I never judged people. You feel me? Where they came from or anything like that.
Yeah, I think it's good to have friends in all places. You know what I mean? I mean that's the thing. Like people be joking about being friends with the school shooter and shit, but that's
Bro,
that's the thing. You gotta be friends with those people.
I was cool with everybody. Like I know. If somebody in my class was gonna shoot the school up, I know that he was gonna let me go first. Like he was like, you know what, bro, you fuck with me and I fuck with you, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you go.
Yeah, and that shit's important too. Just like because if you want to be a musician and shit, you want to you want the support from everybody. You know what I mean?
For sure. Like that's a main thing. You know what I mean? Like you gotta have support from everybody. That's why I try to make different music. You know what I mean? Like if you really listen to my catalog, I try to make music that doesn't sound alike. Like all my songs, pretty much. Like I mean, there's a few that sound like another song, but I try to make them for the most part different. And that's where like the Backwoods and Love songs and all that shit came about.
Yeah, definitely. Too. I know, and like speaking to Zandman again, I know he kind of does. He's got songs where he's singing and shit like that instead of rapping.
Then he's screaming, then he's everything. You know what I mean? That's kind of like my swag too. Like I kind of just like to make different music. You know what I mean? Like I don't like to stay in the same category. Like I notice a lot of people they like to not like to, but they tend to make the same kind of music. Like
you
hear
the Baby.
Yeah, like the Baby.
His music's good, but
Lil Baby. Like honestly, I feel like they all make the same music. You know what I mean? Even kind of Young Boy, but Young Boy I give him a pass because I like Young Boy. So it's like you know what I mean? I don't know. I like
Young Boy's good, but like people be hyping him up.
Oh yeah,
crazy.
For sure. They definitely be hyping his music. Definitely. He's not as good as people. Actually, nah. I fuck with Young Boy. Shout out Young Boy.
Yeah. So what other like modern inspirations you got?
Like musically, like
yeah.
G Herbo, I like G Herbo. That's like one of my favorite rappers.
Hell yeah, you got to perform with him, right?
Yeah, I did a show with him actually a couple times.
Hell
no, I did a show with him at Bliss in DC. That shit was lit as fuck. It's crazy because whole time I didn't get no footage of that show, bro. One of the most lit shows I ever done, bro. I got no footage.
For real?
For real. Like I think there was definitely people like recording there, and I actually seen a video on YouTube. It was like G Herbo at Bliss. It was like the same night I performed, so it might be a video of me on there. You know what I mean?
Nah, that's what's cool, cause I found all sorts of videos of me at shows and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like first time I ever dove off a stage at like a metal show. Yeah. Like obviously, like I'm focused on diving into a crowd, so I'm not gonna be recording. Yeah. Plus, I think it's kind of I'm not in my opinion, like I'm not gonna be on stage like while someone's performing, like doing that shit up in their space. Mm-hmm. So, But I just went on Instagram and YouTube and shit trying to find footage from that night. And yeah, I found like clear footage
of you.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Stage diving and shit.
Yeah, so that's what's
Hell
cool
yeah.
is like nowadays you don't even have to be the one recording. Almost everybody's recording everything.
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy though, cause like that's actually like a good thing and a bad thing. I feel like the phones and all that.
Yeah.
Like, there's always a camera everywhere. Like no matter where you are, what you do.
Can't commit no kind of crimes
You're on
nowadays.
Camera. You're on camera. It doesn't matter what the fuck you do or where you're at.
Shit, they got cameras that don't even look like cameras.
I swear. You wouldn't even know. You look at a plant and be like, damn, that's a camera.
Yeah, I get too high. I look at birds differently.
Everything, bro.
If a bird's too close to me for too long, I start,
you start wondering, yeah.
Someone's controlling that motherfucker.
Nah, for real, bro. I definitely believe in all that shit, bro. The government, there's some...
Well, they definitely already, it's a fact that they have, like, drones for, spying military purposes that are, bird-shaped, right. Shit like that, because they can't be flying in no conspicuous-ass drones.
Definitely. It's like, even like what was it called? The submarine shit?
Yeah.
Like how they were saying, like, the Navy, they didn't know, but the whole time they knew, like, the first day it blew up or something.
Nah, I don't believe that shit, because they got because they got to detect for rockets and shit like that everywhere.
Yeah.
They're constantly you can't fly in the military airspaces. They're probably looking back like, these dumb motherfuckers.
I actually seen, like, a video, and it was, like, the media was the ones that was making it what it was. They were, like, whole time, the Navy already knew what happened, you feel what I'm saying? But the media was like, oh, they're running out of oxygen. They are, this is going on, just for the media. You know what I mean? I feel like media is the worst shit to come to the internet.
I saw a headline with that. I didn't pay no attention. And then I was like, I'd be hanging out at the cigar lounge. So I was just in there and they put on the news and shit. So, and I'm I start looking into it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Bro,
this shit is crazy.
I feel like all that shit is just brainwashing us. You know what I mean? Even when we're kids though, like we're brainwashed from the beginning. You know what I mean? Those books and shit they give us at school and all that shit, bro, that's just not real life. A lot of it isn't. But that's for people to do their research and learn. But a lot of the shit that we grew up learning was a lot of bullshit.
Hell yeah,
a lot of bullshit.
I just got done talking about that with the last interview, and I was telling him how the news just be a fear network.
Yeah, that's all it is. Like,
they don't show nothing positive most of the time, and if they do, it's some dumb shit.
Yeah.
They showing nothing but shit that's gonna make you scared, want to stay in the house.
Yep.
Trust nothing but what they say.
Right.
Fucking don't think for yourself. All that shit.
That's like when COVID hit. Like everybody was fucking buying up all the toilet paper, all that shit.
Oh my
a whole
God.
bunch of shit. Crazy shit was going on. They set people in a panic. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We didn't know what was going on. Like, I never personally got vaccinated or anything like that. Like, I was, like, kind of, like, against it. I felt like it was some deeper shit behind it.
Yeah.
So I just stayed away from it. But I understand, like, people who do. Because it's like, you know what I mean?
I got it after all my other family members got it. My mom's a nurse, so she's,
right.
when you grow up in when you in a house with some medical people,
I know 100%. My mom.
So I was just kind of like, alright.
My mom's a nurse too. She was like, you're getting that shit. You're getting it. And I was like, I'll be gone. You know what I mean?
I like the first two, but once they started going like every 3 weeks you need a booster, I'm like, all right, I am not getting on these goddamn boosters.
Yeah, for sure.
I was like, what do you mean? Them first two should have worked.
Right, you feel me?
You know what I mean?
They were just feeding us lies the whole time. Because I remember at first they were like, 1 million people died. They were like, 1 million people have died so far. And then they, like, a month later, they were like, oh, yeah, the numbers were messed up. Like, it was only, like, 19,000.
Yeah, also, it's like they, if you got shot in the hospital, but you got COVID, some hospitals would like, oh, COVID death.
Yeah, for sure.
All that shit. Because I forgot, I think they were getting paid, like, for every body that they got or something like that. Some crazy shit like that.
I believe it. I believe it.
What was the first show that you ever did?
First show I ever did?
Yeah.
What was the first show I ever did? First show I ever did, I think it probably was with Wisdom Court. I feel like a Wisdom Court show.
Hell yeah.
Or like, I'm trying to think. I think it was actually.
Did you play that show that was over at the rec center over by the parking garage near City Park and shit?
When was that?
Years ago.
Years ago, like probably like
It was like
4 years ago.
yeah,
3?
like the Just Different tour.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I did do a show at the what was it, the AG Center or
what up there?
I think.
Huh, I didn't see you up here. I know I went to a Wisdom Court show that was over by City Park. It was in that like gym rec building. You know
Yeah, it might be that. It might be
Yeah.
that.
Now that I think about it,
Yeah, I definitely did do a show there like, with them.
Yeah.
I don't think that was my first one though.
I got
We
you.
had did shows before that, like, but
So have they always been like a good part of your career and stuff like that?
They've always been, you know what I mean, like, put me on shows and stuff like that. You know what I mean, and yeah, cause Jay, I grew up with Jay.
Nice.
We went to the same school. We both went to Glenelg.
Yeah, he's a good performer.
Yeah, he definitely is. That's one thing I say about Jay.
He got that energy.
Perform, you know what I mean? He been doing it since I can remember. I remember we were like, what? How old? I was probably in middle school. I remember he had this show at the community center, and fucking he was young as shit too. You feel me? And I remember seeing him back then, and it was just like, damn, that's cool that he's doing this shit still to this day. You know what I mean? Cause I know like I faced adversity, so like I know he faced adversity as well. So it's like where we come from is hard to, you know what I mean, hear people talk down on you and shit like that. But you gotta understand that they don't understand. You know what I mean? So it's like you just gotta keep trucking on. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. So you got in Double XL magazine, 2021 artist to watch, right?
Yeah.
So and from what I understand, you thanked I don't know if I'm gonna pronounce this right. Magasia Promotions. Yeah, they helped you get in there.
Hell yeah.
So talk about like how important and beneficial it is to have someone like a promoter by your side.
I mean, like I actually just met like her and like everyone else that I've been working with like through the internet. You know what I mean, honestly, just social media. Then I might network with them, or I might know somebody they know, and like she actually helped me get in Double XL. She's like a PR specialist.
Right.
So she had the connections, and you know what I mean, she liked my music, and we just built a connection, and she got me in the magazine, and you know what I mean. So it was like I appreciate her a lot for that.
Yeah,
I feel like that opened a lot of doors for me, like different doors.
Yeah, I was explaining like to my parents and shit, like when because I be explaining like who my guests are and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, he was in Double XL magazine, which like for a rapper, that's like definitely a big accomplishment because the freshman Double XL covers, that's like one of the biggest things in hip hop.
Hell yeah! I would love to get on a Double XL cover. You know what I mean? That'd be awesome. Like I got in the magazine. I'm proud of myself for that. But my next step is the cover. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
For sure. But like, yeah, it's definitely something I'm proud of.
Nah, definitely. And then you also after that, you released the Through Hell to Double XL tapes.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume that's all about coming from where you started all the way to there, right?
Right. It was like a bunch of songs that I recorded because me and Tev, there was like a year gap where we were just locking in the studio every day. We were going to the studio 4 or 5 times a week. You know what I mean? Just locking in and really like putting the grind in. Like we were just challenging each other to go harder and harder. You know what I mean? Like he'd make a fire song. I'd be like, I want to make 2 fire songs. I'd make 2 fire songs. He like, oh nah, I'm gonna make 4 fire songs. You feel what I'm saying? We challenged each other. It wasn't no like hating or nothing like that. It's like we challenged each other. Like that's my cousin. But we just.
It's good to have that friendly, kind of not even competition.
Right.
It's just
like the push, the motivation. You know what I mean? When you're doing the same thing as somebody else and y'all got that same drive, you're gonna, you know what I mean? You're gonna lock in and really.
Yeah, I feel like as long as you're not hating. There's nothing wrong with wanting to do more than your competitors. You know what I'm saying? Because like, if I'm I don't know if like I was saying, I don't know if many other people doing what I'm doing.
Right.
But if there were like 10 other people in the area doing what I do, of course I should have that.
The best.
Yeah, of course I should have.
Not even on no like cockiness or anything like that. Like you want to be the best at what you do, and if you don't strive to be the best at what you do, then you're not aiming high enough. Yeah, I mean, you're not aiming for the right goals if you're not trying to be the best at what you do. I feel like.
Exactly. So, what other artists aside from G Herbo would you like to work with in the industry? Whether that be tour with them, meet with them, collab with them.
G Herbo. Let's see, Drake. Obviously, I mean everybody wants to work with Drake. I
Hell
like
yeah.
Drake's music. His music be getting me through a lot of shit. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, nah.
Like I said, I got a tape with Zan, man. I used to listen to his music all the time. So like when I got to work with him, I was hyped. You feel me? I was like, bet, like we really gonna lock in. Like, um, let's see, Lil Wayne. I would love to work with Lil Wayne. Uh, yeah, Lil Tyler. I like Lil Tyler. He makes some hard music.
Is there any like local collaborations you want to do?
Um,
There's not
Local.
too much locally going on, but
I
you know.
mean, like, there's people like I would work with, but I feel as though like people are so separated. You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And like, I feel like when certain people are like doing the same thing as you or something, like they kind of like not like hate, but like it's like you said, like a competition
Uh
kind of.
huh.
And like they'll have like their group, you'll have your group, and I feel like shit get misconstrued. You feel me? I feel like it should be like everybody work together
Yeah, you know that's
and
why I like what I
everybody
do.
do what you do, but this person might have beef with this person or some dumb shit. Not even beef, but like, you know what I mean? Anything. And then it just goes from there. Like, but yeah, I would work with anybody who wants to work with me. You know what I
Right.
mean? I'll
Hell
work
yeah.
with anybody. I don't care. You know what I mean? As long as you didn't do no foul shit or nothing to nobody or nothing like that. You know what I mean? We cool.
Hell yeah. So one of the songs that I liked on YouTube was the Honey Pack remix. That was
Hmm.
a good one. It looks like you filmed that in a studio.
Yeah, actually, I was going to Face Fact Studio at the time. That's in like Randallstown.
Okay.
But yeah, I recorded endless bangers there, bro. Like that was my favorite studio at the time. Face Facts, my boy Kruger. Shout out Kruger. Mixed by Kruger on Instagram. But yeah, he's a good ass engineer. Like he really gonna get your shit sounding right. He actually is doing like Roddy Rex. He's doing his stuff. Actually, I
Okay.
said somebody local I would like to work with. Roddy Rex.
Hell yeah.
He not really local because I mean he already made it and all that stuff. There's a few Baltimore artists I would like to work with, like Band Hunter, Izzy.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
It's crazy because like in 2018, I think it was, um, I was supposed to work with Band Hunter, Izzy. Like we were talking about it, like we were like, yeah, we're gonna lock in, we're gonna do a song.
Mm.
But I ended up actually doing a song with President Davo,
Okay.
and like yeah, me and President Davo have a song. We never dropped it yet. I still got it in my phone. I know it's been 4 years and I still ain't dropped
Shit,
it.
nah,
But
it's good to hold on to like
yeah,
bangers like that, especially like if you're working with someone, you know.
yeah, who's got some like notoriety and shit like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Cause you know that's something that's it's never gonna grow old. You know what I mean? It's not something that's gonna go bad with time.
right, right,
Especially if they're getting bigger, it only get better with time.
right. That's like my kind of thing. Like if I get a feature for someone, and it's not, I don't think it's gonna do what I wanted to do at the time. I'll hold on to it. You know what I mean? Until I think it's gonna do what it's gonna do, or you know what I mean, something like that.
Yeah, I think about doing it with this sometimes,
Hmm.
cause I know like I've gotten one big kind of person. It was Trey Chaney from The Wire. I don't know if
Hmm.
you've ever seen The
Yeah, I
Wire.
seen the wire. Yeah.
Yeah, so like something like that, and like
Oh yeah.
I've even I've messaged like other artists and stuff like that. There's some big people I'd like to interview in the future, but the
Right.
if I'm having to like incur the costs to get these interviews
Yeah.
done, because working with people as with
Yeah.
features and stuff like
Oh
that,
yeah.
it,
That's
it
just
can,
not. That's just not cheap at all. It's not.
but it be worth it though. It
Yeah.
opens up doors,
But if you build the right connections, like some of the features I got, yeah, I mean, I did off the humble. Yeah, I mean, with a lot of people, or they did a feature with me off the humble. But
right?
then there are some I had to pay for. You know what I mean? So it was like,
Yeah, you want to go through like all the different features you've done?
um, let's see. I mean, I got like a lot, honestly. I think.
Well, just notable
Um,
ones that people should know
Zan
about.
Man. I got President Davo. Me and Lord Mahdi. He's from Baltimore.
Okay.
We supposed to have a song and a video. He locked up right now. Free Mahdi. Um, let's see. I got a feature with Bobby Nice. I don't know if you know Bobby Nice. He's from New York. He like face tattoos and all
I'd
that.
have to look into him.
He's a
You
crazy.
know, like I feel like nowadays, you know, you scroll upon so many different
So many
artists and
you
stuff.
the
You know,
names you don't remember, but the faces you'll remember.
yeah.
Yeah. If I could get in my phone, I broke my phone,
Damn.
so my shit won't unlock. But I would play the song. But I got like a whole bunch of just different stuff. I got songs with my cousins, Tev, Devin. Um, I got endless. Really,
Hell yeah.
really I do a lot of songs like with just me on it though. Yeah.
I got you.
I do want to branch out and start doing a lot more features. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. So some of the lines that I picked up from Honey Pack Remix, it would appear like they're kind of like tribute lines.
Mm.
I don't fuck with the Zans. That's how Nate got buried. Is that a friend
Yeah.
of yours that passed?
Yeah, that's my bro Nate. I grew up with him. Like that's my dog for real. Like we would do everything together. Like I was doing the same shit he was doing. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
shit. I just was thankful to make it out of it. You know what I mean? But it's crazy because I seen him actually like do just hella shit before. You know what I mean? And like as a friend, you know what I mean, sometimes you're doing it with him, but then you start to see like a
Yeah.
difference, you know what I mean? And
Uh-huh.
you're not doing it as much and stuff like that. So like I would
Guaranteed.
try to encourage him, like, bro, that's not, you know what I mean, you should step back from that shit like that. But he actually did, and he went to like rehab, and he got right, you know what I mean? And he was starting his own business and everything. And it's crazy because I actually got to see him like before he passed away. He came over one day. He was like, "Hey, bro, I want to come chill." He's like, "I'm in the area." He came over, bro. We had the best time ever. Like, we just went out to the bar. We got a couple drinks, literally like probably 2 drinks, but we were just having fun. Like, it was like
Right.
how we used to when we were kids, because I didn't see him when I was for like 4 or 5 years.
Yep.
So like, then literally like 2 weeks later, he passed away, and like it's crazy because they said that his mom. I actually talked to her at the funeral, and she was like, yeah, like he was clean, like, and but he had a prescription, and he like I mean he actually took one, like
Damn.
only one Zan, and
That-
he drank a beer that night.
Ah.
It was one beer, one Zan.
Yeah.
And, like it's crazy because I've seen that kid do 300 times that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
one beer
yeah.
and one Zan is crazy. Like I don't condone.
Tolerance will fucking do that, man.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
I don't condone drug use. You know what I mean? All that shit at all. Cause
Nah, but
I
that
mean,
goes back to growing up around here. I mean,
yeah.
heroin and all that shit super prevalent, and
Yeah,
then it just comes
I
to the
got family members, friends, all type of shit, and got fucked up off the drugs. So
yeah.
I don't condone the drugs. Like I smoke weed, you know what I mean? Like that shit's legal. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, it just became
I
legal.
smoke weed. You know what I mean? Like so that's my thing. But I got, you know what I mean? I've seen a lot of people fuck up and do stupid shit, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Nah, that definitely helps you to like succeed better, you
yeah,
know,
for
because
sure.
like I've had multiple family members, you know, different addictions, shit like that, different criminal shit. So like you kind of like you witness it and you go like, all right, I know what's gonna happen if I go
If I
down
do
that
the
route.
same shit, right?
And you know,
And some people though, that's the thing. Some people don't have that say so. Like if I do this, this is gonna happen.
uh-huh.
Some people, I don't know why, they just ignore that whole thing in their head telling them not to, and they do it.
Yeah.
But
I was just
it's
gonna
like,
bring that up because you were talking about how some of your friends, like, you know, because I have friends that I used to do shit all the time with, get
Right.
fucked up with all the time.
right,
But you start to like grow older, you get your priorities straight,
Right.
and you like, all right, this ain't the moves all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
oh yeah,
But if they don't have those similar experiences, you know what I mean?
it's
Like,
not gonna hit the same. It's not gonna give them that same impact that it gives you.
exactly.
Because they never experienced what you experienced. You know what I mean? Like, I say that a lot actually, and just talking to people, like, letting them know different things. You know what I mean? I might say something to somebody, and they might, like, you know what I mean? Not really get, like, offended, be like, oh, he might think he know everything. But whole time, I've experienced a lot. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
dude.
So it's like, I might be looking out for you. I might be trying to be like, hey, you know what I mean? I've done this before, and I see what it did to me. I'm just letting you know. That might not be the right path. You feel
It'd
me?
be frustrating as hell
Cause you
because
see it coming almost.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, yeah,
you're
like,
trying to help out. You know
Yeah.
exactly what's gonna happen, and it's like, you know, it's like you said, you be seeming, they be thinking you're a dick
right, you
sometimes,
feel me?
and you know, you just like, I gotta watch this shit play out exactly how I, you know.
Right.
Nah.
Sometimes you just gotta let them do what they're gonna do. Like one thing I learned is you gotta let people do what they rather do. Wait, how do I want to say it? You gotta let people do what they want to do so you can see what they rather do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that'll, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah. And then one of the other lines I picked up, it was R.I.P. to Dula.
Yeah, Dula, that was my man's. He's from Chicago,
Okay.
and it's crazy because one time I remember, this had to be like 2014, 2015. He FaceTimed me one day, or I don't even know if it was FaceTime back then. I think it was actually, but he FaceTimed me one day, and I missed the call. But he was like, bro, he was like, yo, I was just here with G Herbo. He was like, yo, I was trying to FaceTime you. He was like, he was right here on the phone, blah blah blah. And I was like, damn, like, but yeah, that was my man from Chicago.
And I feel like there was one more person that you mentioned. I can't remember the name, but it was something along the lines of, talk about them, we spinning back.
Yeah, that's my man's De Niro.
Yep, De Niro. I thought so.
Yeah, De Niro, long live De Niro. That was my cousin boyfriend. Yeah, it's like basically you just people be hating. That's all I can really say
I got you,
about
man.
that situation. Is like people just be hating. They hate to see you get money. They hate to see you shine. They hate to see you living a life that they wish they were living. You know what I mean? And it's sad.
Yeah, that's another scary thing
People
about
let
success.
envy and like shit like that get to them. Like that's another thing with fame. Like I don't want that shit. I don't want people being envious of me because I got to a certain level. You know what I mean? Like PNB Rock for example. Like
yeah, hell yeah.
he lost his life
Pop
over
Smoke.
some shit that he worked for. Pop
Yeah.
Smoke. You know what I mean? And it's sad because people really get that hate in their heart and they like let that shit fuel them and just do some wild shit. Like,
and it be the people closest to you too. That's
and it's always be good people, like people that be looking out for their families and doing the right things and giving back and shit like that. You feel me? It be them.
Hell yeah. Way back, when you like first dropped Applying Pressure, Say Cheese had reposted your video. I remember that, and it got hella views.
Which was Applying Pressure? Did they repost it?
I believe so. I think it was that one. It might have been another song.
I can't.
It might have been Dynamite. Now that I think about it.
No, Dynamite. What happened? Oh yeah, it went viral. Like
Hell yeah.
it was like 200. It was like 200,000.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Like when I last seen it, it was like some page reposted me. I don't know if it was Say Cheese or not. I don't think it was, but
some page similar to that.
Yeah, it was like something like that. They reposted me and it ended up getting like 200,000 views. Like when I seen it, and I think it got more than that. But like it was hella comments, like 1,000 comments. It was like hella shit.
It was that crazy to see.
Yeah, it was wild. Like I was like, it was crazy to see that my music could impact that many people.
Hell yeah,
and
definitely.
Like, you know what I mean? Like they fucked with it. You know what I mean? So it was like that. You know what I mean? Gave me that confidence boost too.
Hell yeah. I saw you did a show at the Soundstage with the Kid M.
Yeah, that shit was cool. That was when was that? Like 2 years ago, I think now. It was like 2 years ago. Yeah, that shit was cool shit. That was actually like one of the last shows I did. That is the last show I did actually.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and Soundstage is one of the biggest venues in Baltimore, so that's definitely
Yeah, actually, I'm doing another show July 22nd.
At the Wisdom Court Summer Jams.
The Summer Jam.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up at the end, but yeah, that's
the Summer Jam. That's at Soundstage again. So.
Yeah, it's that. I think for anybody to play the Soundstage is a pretty big accomplishment.
Yeah, like that. That was another thing. Like that was one thing when I did it. I was like, I mean, I can scratch that off the list.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like when you come from the area, that's like, I mean, everybody wants to do a show at Soundstage.
Definitely.
You feel me? Or one of those big venues, like.
And it's something to add to your resume too.
Right, for sure.
That's something that other big people can go, okay, that's something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's also like why paying for the features or paying for a bigger interview. That's why it'll pay off, because when you reach out to more people in the future, you go, I've already worked with this person, this person, this person. They're established, so they go, all right, those established people are willing to work with him. That's cool. I'll work with them too.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Really, a lot of word of mouth. You know what I mean? People put the word in for you, and people want to work with you. Like that's how I made a lot of connections. I made for real.
Yeah, people pay to play anywhere, really. Whether people be Because people always wonder, like, why do these rich people be paying all this money to go to these country clubs and shit? Because they be networking there.
Yeah, like my one of my homies, like we grew up in the same area, and he be chilling with celebrities like shit like that all the time. Like Drake, I seen him with Drake a couple times. I seen him with hella people on Snap. I mean, a whole bunch of shit like that.
Yeah.
And he just built off networking. Like he's in one of my videos I'm about to drop. That joint Rocket. I shot Rocket. That's when I went to LA.
Hell yeah.
I went to LA for like a week.
Yeah, LA and Miami to quote unquote shoot some videos, reach out to some
Yep.
more people.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that where you shot Tropics?
Tropics? I shot that in Miami.
Yeah, I gotta say,
Yeah.
wherever you shot that and whoever shot that shit
Yeah.
looked
Hell yeah.
hella good on
Hell
video
yeah.
and shit.
What was his name? I think it was MIA Films. MIA Films, I think. You probably look him up on Instagram, but he actually, he was dope. It's crazy because I was down there with one of my homies, and we was just like chilling, whatever. And I was like, you know what, bro, I want to shoot a video. I came down here to Florida, like I want to shoot a video. He was like, do it. Like I think you should do it. So I went on Instagram, scrolled for like probably like an hour, 2 hours. I was looking up like videographers in Miami. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Who could shoot a video in Miami? And I ended up finding him, and he was like, yeah, I can pull up right now. And I was like, shit.
Hell yeah.
I was like, pull up then. You feel me? So he pulled up, and the rest was history. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. And you also said that like LA made you see your potential.
Yeah, definitely. Like I just seen like the life people live out there and like shit like that. Like and then like I went to the studio and like I seen what it was like in like an official studio, like how my voice sounds different in certain areas or like who I record with type shit. And like I got to hear like a couple songs of myself like firsthand, like on some good quality shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like impressed. I was like, yeah.
Because even the studios out here is like, you know,
Yeah,
they lack in comparison to a fucking
definitely to like a high class studio.
Yeah.
I mean,
corporate level for shit.
yeah,
You know?
I think I actually went to a studio in LA and it was ass. I'm not gonna lie. I went there. It was ass. I'm not gonna cap. But like it was crazy because like it was like this building, right? And it was like they had all these different rooms. The whole time you can come in there and buy your own studio time with no engineer and shit like that. But mine had an engineer, but dude was late as shit. He was like 20 minutes late. And then I'm like, I ain't know where to go. Like it was like this lady at the front desk. She's like, where are you trying to go? I'm like, I don't know, honestly. Like I was like, I'm supposed to be here for a studio session. She was like, studio? She had no idea.
Damn.
Like, I'm like, what the fuck? Finally, like this dude comes down. He's like, yo, you here for the studio? And I'm like,
I've been here
so
for the studio.
Whole time, I'm thinking it's a setup or something. I'm like, you feel me? So
Yeah.
I'm like, nah. I'm like, hold up.
Yeah, right.
The
You're like,
whole
shit.
time, I'm like, fuck it. So we started going. We go open this door. It's like a whole, looks nice as shit. Whole nice ass studio, fucking, and yeah. I recorded a couple songs, but I didn't like how they sounded, so I came home and recorded them over with my engineer Kruger, and yeah, they sound a lot better. I can tell you that.
Yeah, and so Sushi Boy Films, they shot the video for the Honey Pack remix, right?
Yeah. He shot a couple of my videos. Shout out Sushi Boy. Yeah, he's a good cameraman.
Is he local to here?
Yeah, I think he lives in like Baltimore or somewhere.
Okay.
But yeah, he definitely like he was always like supportive of me. Like even when I was down bad, it was like, I mean, he like, bro, you know what I mean? I know you on the ground with this shit. He was like, we gonna lock in. You feel me? We locked in. We shot like 3, 4, 5 videos. So it was like he knew I was taking it serious at that point.
Yeah.
So he was willing to work with me. And like he's one of the cameramen that shot a lot of my videos, and we just, you know what I mean, built that connection, really put that grind in.
Yeah, it's good when you got people that know where you've been through, know what you've been through, know where you're trying to be, because they're willing to work with you more and stuff like that. For
like
sure.
if somebody doesn't see your potential, they're not gonna, you know what I mean, really put that energy behind you. It's kind of like a record label. Like if they don't see you grinding, they don't see you doing this, doing that, they're not gonna want to put their money behind you. You see what I'm saying? It's like the same kind of concept. It's like you gotta You got to put the grind in.
Yeah, and working with those bigger people too, that definitely puts battery in, gives you a battery charge.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
Because when I did my interview with the dude from The Wire, and he gave me compliments and shit like that, and I was like,
It does definitely put that battery in your back. You know what I mean? Like when I made double XL, it put that battery in my
yeah,
back for sure. But then at the same time, it was crazy. It was like a roller coaster. Like I was going up, like I had all this like good shit going on, and then it was like my grandma passed away. That was like that was February, and so that was crazy. You know what I mean?
yeah, you had cause you got an interview with Voyage ATL, and that's where
Yeah,
I got a lot of my
yeah,
notes and stuff like that.
that was like February, and that fucked me up. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That was like one of the things that like I was terrified of happening. You know what I mean?
Right.
That shit definitely fucked me up. And then like 2 months after that, my cousin Travis died, and that shit fucked me up even more. Like you feel me? Like that was my cousin. We grew up together, riding bikes together, living together,
Right.
all that shit. Like that shit fucked me up. And then my aunt passed away like 2 months after that. You know what I mean? It was like it was
Yeah,
just
you don't even get to grieve the other
me?
people, and
Yeah,
then
it was just hella shit just going wrong, like just going wrong. So like I was really taking a step back from like all the music and everything. Really, like I took a step back from a lot of shit that I was doing and just yeah, I mean, started trying to cope. I guess you can say.
yeah. Nah, definitely, man. That's good that you were able to. You knew that you needed to take that time because some people, I've seen family members who don't know how to cope with death and stuff like that, and it fucking, it brings them way down and stuff
Yeah,
like
for
that.
sure. Like I mean, I definitely still deal with it. Like it's definitely
Well,
like
it's not something that ever goes away.
Yeah, right. It's not something that you like. I mean, just get over like the next day. But it's definitely something that'll stick with you forever, and like you'll just have to find different ways to cope with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think if you really like hone in on it, you can like almost use use your relatives that have passed as tools and stuff like
Right.
that.
Right.
Like their sacred ancestors and stuff
Right.
like that. You look into like Native Americans, indigenous cultures and shit. They
Yeah, like a spiritual, like in a spiritual sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
definitely.
definitely look at a lot of my family members in a spiritual sense. I feel as though a lot of my family members have like saved me from some shit. You know what I mean, and shit like that. Like I remember one time, it's crazy because like this is when I first started believing like ghosts. I guess I don't want to say ghosts, but like spiritual stuff.
Right.
Like I remember when I was like 19, I had to get heart surgery, but I had no idea at the time. I had no idea. But anyway, I was asleep one time and I had like this dream. I think it was a dream, but I'm not sure. Like, but my grandfather, he had passed away like probably like 6 months prior to this, and in the same house. You know what I mean? So it was like I don't know if it was a dream or what, but I think I was dreaming. But he was just walking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then like he stopped and went to say something to me, but like the whole time he just looked concerned. Like the look on his face, like I still remember it. He just looked concerned, and it was crazy because I was like whole time I'm sitting up in my dream, just like sitting up because I was laying on the floor. I remember I was laying on the floor,
Yeah, that would fuck me
and
up.
I was sitting up like this, and like I was just watching him walk back and forth, and then he stopped to say something, and then I like closed my eyes or I woke up. I don't know what happened, but I was sitting up in the same position that I was in my dream.
Yeah.
So like whole time I'm like, was I dreaming or what?
Yeah.
You feel me? It freaked me the fuck out. I'm not gonna lie, it freaked me out.
Hell yeah.
But like I had to realize, like, that's my grandfather. He would never, yeah, I mean, do nothing to harm me. And then whole time, a couple months later, I ended up realizing I had to get heart surgery, and he died from a heart attack.
Damn.
So like, I feel like it was like something of that sense. Like,
Do you
he was
know
trying
like
to
what
warn me.
specifically was going on with your heart, if you don't mind me asking?
I had a condition that like only like 0.6 of the population had. Like, it's called like WPW, and basically like your heart has like a blood flow,
Right.
and then it has a electrical flow. And on my heart, the electrical flow got thrown off because there was like an extra pathway or some shit.
Right.
So like basically, like I remember one day I was with my cousin Devin. We were playing basketball, and I took like 3 shots. I wasn't doing nothing crazy, no running, nothing like that. I just took like 3 shots, and all of a sudden, like I felt like my heart was like beating out of my chest. Like it was crazy. And
Was
like,
it painful or just like heart fast as shit?
nah, it wasn't painful. It was like
Thank God.
it felt like my chest was vibrating. Like it was just weird. And then like felt like I was gonna pass out or some shit like that. So I started reaching for the ground. And like his eyes are big as shit. Like he's like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? Like he's terrified at this point. And like I just knew something was wrong. And then like afterwards, my arm started to hurt. So I knew right then and there, cause like I mean I had some knowledge on some stuff. So I knew if your arm hurts after some shit like that,
Right.
it's not a good sign. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I was like, damn, we gotta go. Like he's freaking out. He's like, bro, like you good? You good? I'm like, I don't know. We just gotta go. But it's crazy because I ended up going to the fire station, like right down the street, and they was like, what they say? They were like, they thought I was on drugs.
So they're like, man, if you don't get the fuck off our
they were
porch.
Like, they were like, bro, they were like, we look at your pupils. They were like, you clearly on drugs. You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, I'm like, I'm not on drugs. I'm like, I just fucking like think I died almost.
That shit be annoying as hell when people think you're off the shit, but you're not.
Yeah, so my
That's
mom,
so annoying.
she ended up coming to get me. And she was like, are you okay? Freaking out. She's just worried as shit. And then I ended up going to a specialist. Actually, I went to Carroll. It's crazy. I like Carroll. I feel I don't know. I don't know if that's a great hospital.
I've heard that. I've heard that.
I mean, I don't know, because it's crazy. They took my cousin to Carroll at first, and I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say. He's not here. Rest in peace, Trigger Man. But like yeah, I went there, and they were like, yeah, I think you have had an anxiety attack.
Oh man.
And they did my EKGs, everything, right?
Yeah,
so I went to a specialist like 3 days later because my mom, she knew something wasn't right. Because she's a nurse too. She knew something wasn't right. So she was like, you know what I mean? She was like, I'm going to take you to a specialist. I went to a specialist. They looked at my EKGs, the same ones I got at Carroll, and they were like, damn, like, how did they not see this? Like, you know what I mean? They were like, you have to go for emergency surgery. And I'm like, what? Like, that shit freaked me out.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I was like 19, I think, at the time. I'm still a kid and shit. I'm like, just, you know what I mean? But.
Yeah. I feel that because I talked about it on one of my other podcasts, so I won't get into it too deep. I caught a virus not too long ago, nothing too serious.
Yeah.
That virus gave me some shit called myocarditis and pericarditis, where your heart sac and your heart gets inflamed.
Yeah.
So I woke up one morning and I basically had like a migraine in my heart.
Right.
It was the most fucking painful shit.
Yeah,
yo.
that sounds fucked
up. I woke up, I work in a warehouse, so I woke up to go to work. I get in the shower because like my shit had kind of started hurting the day before. I was like, all right, it should be fine.
Right.
I wake up. I'm like, all right, it kind of hurts.
Right.
It hurts a little bit more.
A little bit more.
Yeah. By the time I get out the shower, I'm like, something ain't right.
Yeah.
Something ain't right, yo. I wake up my mom because she's a nurse. I'm like, something ain't right, yo.
Right.
I was like, something ain't right, goddamn, yo. Tears be coming out. Yeah. You ain't even like crying like that, but tears be coming out. Exactly. I'm like, yo, we gotta go to goddamn hospital. Yeah. They're asking you like, you do cocaine?
Yeah, all this
shit like that. You're like, nope. And yeah, all from some fucking virus. Damn. I was in the hospital for like a night and a half. Fucking crazy. I took like a month off work because they were like, literally like the cardiologist said, like you should take like 1 to 3 months off. So I was like, all right, I'll take a month off. But nah, I know that heart shit ain't no joke.
Yeah, bro, that shit's scary as fuck.
Fuck yeah.
That shit traumatized me definitely. Like it's crazy because I went back to the same specialist. And she was like, she seen me after like 10 years. She had no idea like what happened to me. She was like, I was so worried about you. Like, I remembered you. She was like, you never came back for your checkups? I'm like, yeah, blah, 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 like whatever. You feel me? So, yeah, I ended up talking to her and she ran some tests on me. She was like, yeah, you're good. Like, everything looks good. She was like, the only thing I'm pretty sure you have is PTSD. And I was like, yeah, because I'll be getting like anxiety attacks, shit like that, you know what I mean? So like,
nah, you always be thinking that shit gonna come back or something.
Yeah, like anytime something with your heart goes on, you know what I mean? You be like, what the fuck's happening? You know what I mean? You like worry about it all the time.
Hell yeah, dude. The pain got so bad, my arms and legs started falling asleep. I'm like, oh my God.
Definitely some scary shit. It's like when they realized I had to go for emergency surgery, they put me on a stress test. And I had to run on like a treadmill or whatever. So like I'm going on the treadmill, and the lady's like holding me there. And I'm like telling her, I'm like, yo, at this point, like she's speeding it up, speeding it up. I'm like hitting like a light jog at this point. I'm like getting tired of shit. You feel me? I'm like, yo, you gotta stop. Like I'm a pass out. She's like, no, keep running, keep running, keep running. She's holding me on there. You know what I mean? Like literally, like holding me on there. And I'm like, I'm telling her, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna pass out. And literally, like, I kept running. I felt like I was just about to pass out, so I just jumped off. Yeah, like literally, I just jumped off.
Yeah, man.
And I fucking I fainted. And then literally, they were like, yeah, you gotta go for emergency surgery. I think like a week or two later, maybe a week later.
Yeah, I remember them saying like that I might need to do a stress test, but I never ended up having to.
Yeah.
Fucking.
It was crazy, bro. It was really crazy. Like, what was it? I had a ablation done. Like, they didn't do open heart surgery or nothing like that.
I gotcha.
So like, they went through like my vein and went through my heart or whatever. But they told me, they were like, so basically, I ended up getting the surgery twice, because they told me, they were like, it's in one of three spots. They were like, the first spot is not challenging at all. We can go right there, get rid of it, no problem. They were like, second spot's kind of like the middle area, so like it's gonna be a little harder. Third spot, you do not want it there. That we have to travel across your heart and do some whole other shit. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm panicking at this point. I'm like, where is it? Where is it? So I was like, can you just see where it is? They were like, all right, like if you want to do that, we'll just go see and we won't do nothing. I was like, do that. You feel me? I don't know why I did that dumb shit. But anyway, I was like, yeah, do that. So, cause I'm just like straight panic mode. You feel me? I'm thinking I'm gonna die. You feel me?
You do whatever you got to.
You feel me? So like, they were like, all right. They went in. They were like, all right, we got good news, bad news. They were like, good news is, you already got the surgery done once, so you have nothing to stress. They were like, you basically already got the surgery done once, so you have nothing to stress about getting it done again. Bad news is, it's in the third spot.
Damn.
And I was like, fuck. I was like, just straight, even more panic. You know what I mean? So I'm like, just really at this point, I'm just over it. I'm like, whatever. You feel me?
Yeah, no shit. Oh,
so, yeah.
God.
Shit was crazy.
I saw you posted up on Instagram with a Huracan, and you were talking about like speaking stuff into existence. Has that been successful for you, trying to speak stuff into existence? Yeah, like
I feel like I spoke a lot of shit into existence. Actually, it's crazy, because me and my cousin, we were playing around, and I made I made a snap one time, and I was like, by 2018 I'm gonna do this, 2019 I'm gonna do this, 2020 I'm gonna do this, and it's crazy because on that list I said 2020. I'm gonna be a double XL freshman. The whole time, 2021, I was double XL artist to watch.
Right.
So I literally felt like I spoke that into existence.
Definitely. I mean, you know, universe heard double XL me.
They were like, all right, we got you.
Yeah, definitely, man. I think it's important. Well, it's like you were taking the actions, you were putting shit out there. That's all it takes. Yeah. A lot of people, I've said this on the platform too. A lot of people just, they manifest and pray, but they don't do no actions.
Put the work in. That's the thing. Like, you can manifest all you want, but if you don't put the action behind it, it's never gonna happen. You might get lucky, but people don't usually get lucky. You know what I mean? So it's like, you gotta put that work in behind the manifestation to get there. Like, you know what I mean? And then the universe, you put it into the universe, it'll look out for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You've had several music videos. One of the ones that I have a note here about was the Straight from the Bottom one, because it had like 33,000 views, probably more than that now. Yeah. And it was also it seemed to be filmed in the area as well that you were you came up in and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
What was that video shoot like?
I mean, that was like my whole family was out for that video shoot. Like, everybody was out there. Yeah, I mean, that was a cool ass moment, because like it was like, even people who don't generally like listen to my music, they got to experience it and see firsthand like how dedicated I am to it. You feel me? And stuff like that. So
because I'm sure it was the people around your area who were like, who knew like, oh, he's that rapper from down the a few houses down.
Right.
But now they're like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah, we see now. You know what I mean? Yeah. At first it started as, oh yeah, he make music. Y'all heard his music, and then it's like, oh, he make music. Like,
right.
He definitely do this now. Like, I mean.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. A lot of people don't take. I mean, a lot of people be like, "Oh yeah, he's doing his thing." In real life, they ain't taking you too serious.
See, that's the thing. Like, I feel as though I'm different. Like, if I truly see the potential in somebody, I'm gonna take you serious. Like, cause I know what you could be. Cause I know what I could have been or am going to be. You know what I mean? And to think of what I came from. You see what I'm saying? I know anything's possible.
Yeah.
So it's like you just gotta keep grinding. You gotta keep, you know what I mean, being dedicated.
Definitely.
Never give up. That's the one thing for sure. Is definitely never give up. Cause like once you give up, you know what I mean, you're done.
Yeah. No matter how motivated you are, it be a devil or some shit that be trying to fucking bring you down, because you'll be motivated 6-7 days out the week or whatever, or 6 days out the week, and then that seventh day some random thought will have you thinking down.
Yep.
Like,
And
man,
then
can I really do this?
Yep. And you back to square one if you follow that thought. You know what I mean? So it's always important to just get past that. Like, you're gonna have down days, you're gonna have up days. So you gotta, you know what I mean, take them and roll with the punches.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
I mentioned this a little bit earlier. You got interviewed by Voyage ATL.
Yeah.
So that's a magazine out from Atlanta, right?
Yeah, they're in Atlanta. I think they have like, I forgot how many followers, like 80,000 or something.
Yeah.
It was something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, they're based in Atlanta. They do like inspiring stories for artists from the area and
Right.
you know what I mean, stuff like that. It's crazy because I've never even been to Atlanta.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, so I was like, I mean, I have a lot of because I check my stats sometimes.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people that listen to my music are in Atlanta.
Gotcha. I know a lot of papers. They'll take requests and stuff like that. So if they get like enough requests for a certain person, or I guess whoever looks through them goes through and sees like how prominent.
Yeah, it was crazy because like I actually never heard of the magazine until they hit me up. They actually like emailed me and they're like, "Hey, we saw your profile and we like heard about you or read about you or whatever," and they were like, "Yeah, we want to interview you." And it's crazy because after the interview, they actually emailed me again and they were like, "Yeah, we actually got good feedback on your article and we want to work further with you on like some other stuff they got going on." So I'm definitely gonna look into that too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, it's always big to get any publication.
Yeah, for sure.
It kind of makes you a little more certified as an artist.
Yeah, followers and all that, that means absolutely nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. I know people that have way less followers than me, but they're way further along than I am. You know what I mean? I know people that got way more followers than me. They're not as nearly as close as, you know what I mean, or like anything like that. You know what I mean? But followers mean nothing. You can have all the followers in the world, but it's about who's following you.
Exactly.
It's about, you know what I mean, who you're networking with.
And you never know who's watching either.
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like there's always someone
Especially
watching.
with the internet. The internet, man, you can reach people. Like, I've never been to any of the cities. I've only been to like maybe 3 or 4 cities outside of like Maryland.
Right.
And literally, I have listeners all over the world. France, my most streamed area. Where is that? I think it's France.
Oh shit.
Or Russia. I can't remember. It's one of those two. But yeah, like and then like the UK. I've reached like I think it's 56 countries on SoundCloud. Like it's just crazy because I've never even been to other countries. I don't know anyone in other countries. So to think that my music has an impact there, like I've had fans or supporters hit me up and be like, "Hey, bro, like I'm from like Russia or I'm from the Ukraine or I'm from anywhere. I'm from wherever. Like, hey, like we fuck with your music. I've been putting people onto your music. People like your music out there, and it's crazy because like I've never been there, never even.
Yeah, because it's not like we're from LA. It's not like we're from New York, Chicago. Those places are so well known that it's like, oh, you from there? It makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm from fucking Cowtown.
You feel me?
And you bumping my shit out in Prussia? What's going on?
Feel good for real. It does.
Hell yeah.
It's like, if I can have an impact like that over the world, like with the little amount of people that I am impacting, imagine once I get on like a greater scale, you feel me? The impact that I'm gonna have, you know what I mean? Like that's one thing that I look forward to.
Yeah, I just had some band from like Texas follow me, and one of the dudes in that band, I'm like, oh shit, okay.
Hell yeah.
You know, you start to see that the algorithm's working in your favor, and you see it's, you know, promoting your shit to the right people. It, you know, it helps.
Yeah.
Have you had to learn, you know, speaking of that, have you had to learn how to like work with the algorithm and shit like that?
Yeah, most definitely. Cause like Instagram, for example, like I like Instagram, but fuck Instagram.
Yeah.
Fuck Instagram.
I feel you. Fucking all them suggested reels and shit.
But anyway, like I think they shadow banned my account, and so like only like 10% of like the people that could be seeing my stuff are seeing my stuff. Like I can like when I check my stats and everything, like it's showing me like only 10% of the people are showing, and like you look up a shadow ban and it says it'll limit your viewers and stuff like that. So I know for a fact I'm shadow banned. And they sent me like a thing a while back because I was posting like some wild shit. Can't remember what it was. I was posting some wild shit. They were like, "We're gonna cut you off if you don't stop." And I don't think I stopped for real, but.
Nah, it's crazy. That shadow banning shit gets out of control, man. Some accounts get banned dozens of times.
Like Boosie, for example, like he fucking
show your pussy lips on live. I'll give you $1,000.
He fucking got like 6 accounts he done got banned. He's still fighting for his life on Instagram.
Yeah.
I bet Boosie, he was just on Instagram crying the other day. He was like, man, give me my account back, man. Give me my account back, man.
Oh my god.
Boosie, one of the funniest people on the internet, I swear.
Yeah, and, have you seen that viral dude who's like, he does nothing but fucking like Baltimore dances to fucking wipe me down?
Which one?
I don't know. It's the same dude, but he does it in like all these different areas and shit. And he's, either way,
to see it, but I might know.
Yeah, these people are always commenting like, "Yo, he does the same thing."
Yeah.
And then there's other people like, "I don't care how many times he does."
Yeah, I'm fucking with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah.
I know there's a video. It's like these dudes driving down some street in Baltimore, and it's like this dude wearing a Michael Myers mask in the car, and he pulls up, and these fucking dudes are just jigging on the street and shit.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, it's the same kind of
shit.
Yeah, it's the same vibe.
Mm-hmm.
You started a merch store for like your Bottom Boys stuff. Talk about that, and like how long have you been like doing the merch and shit like that?
Like I always like when I would go to my shows and shit, I would always try to like go to the mall and be like, I want to get a shirt made. You feel me? To represent my shit. You feel me? So like
I got plans for my own shit too.
Yeah. So it was like I would always be like, man, I want to get that shit going. So I was like, you know what? I looked into it one day. And I seen this one website, this one company, they were like, we'll make X amount of shirts for this amount of money. I was like, bet. I'm going to see what happens, you know what I mean? So I got, I think it was like 100 shirts or something like that. And literally like the first 2 weeks, like the shirts were gone. Like, So it was like, I need to get on that. You know what I mean? Like I seen how quick they were going.
So how'd you get the logo made up actually?
The logo, it's crazy because I actually hit this person up like on I think Instagram to like make me a logo because I didn't have a logo at the time. It was just like we were going Bottom Boys, you know what I mean? But we didn't have a logo or nothing. It wasn't official. So like I got the logo made and this is what the guy sent me back and I just looked at it and I was like, that shit's hard. Like I don't know because it like I feel like it kind of looks like the building's like where we grew up, you know what I mean?
Nah, definitely. I tell my dad this and shit all the time. I'm like, something about the East Coast, Maryland, Philly, like, just hella row homes and shit.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like almost, a lot of people grow up in at least one townhouse row home,
definitely.
You know what I mean?
Always. You like, unless you born with money, you know what I mean?
Right.
You gonna grow up struggling just like everybody else. It's
my first house that I remember growing up in was Carroll View up there by Maggie's and shit, so...
You know what I mean? Everybody got to struggle at some point, you know what I mean? Unless you were blessed with money, you know what I mean? So...
And that's the thing, too, is like, one person's struggle is another person's luxury, so it's like... you get older, you realize, like, I didn't have it too bad, but at the same,
Most definitely.
I don't know. I feel like you can't tell a person like that what they went through wasn't a struggle. You know what I mean?
You can't tell somebody what hardships they went through wasn't enough type shit. Like, cause it's like at the end of the day, everybody goes through and everybody handles things differently. That's like one thing I be realizing is people do handle things different. It's like as much as I want to think that everybody thinks or is gonna do things like I do, I have to realize that that's not the case. You know what I mean? So it's like you gotta just understand that everybody's different and people think differently and.
Yeah, like all those kids that grew up better off than you and stuff like that. It's like even they had their own issues because a lot of times, parents aren't around. You know what I mean? Shit like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And like addiction, shit like that. Don't have it. It don't discriminate against anybody.
Yep.
You know what I mean? A lot of rich people, get addicted off shit.
Hell yeah.
Ruins all sorts of families and shit.
Yeah, that shit don't discriminate at all.
Nah, especially around here.
Yeah.
Shit, like literally down the road, there's a sign with like how many people OD every month.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, when they put that up, I was like, what the hell?
We're gonna broadcast the number now.
Yeah, yo, I was like, yo, they made a scoreboard out of this shit.
Right,
This is crazy. You were talking about setbacks along the way, and you mentioned kind of like going broke countless times in your article. Can you kind of talk about that and just like what advice you give to people so that they don't fumble their bag?
Advice to not fumble in the bag, I would say, is just stick to your plan. You know what I mean? Because obviously you got to that point to get the bag, and you had a plan to get there. Just stick to the plan. You know what I mean? Don't try to let influences and things distract you from your end goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but at the end of the day, like a lot of the bags that I was fumbling was because I was just putting my money into the wrong things.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, or even I was putting them into the right things also. Like I was buying studio equipment. I was buying vehicles. You know what I mean? I was buying stuff. So it's like some of the bags that I messed up, I can say that I fumbled doing the right thing. Some of them I fumbled doing absolutely the wrong thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just stack your money. Don't try to be outside in the mix doing this and that. You know what I mean? Just worry about the goal that you had to get you to that point.
Yeah, no doubt. And you just mentioned like typical daily life struggles. You know, what would those be?
I mean, like everything. I mean, like you said, going broke. You know what I mean, needing to get food, motivation. You know what I mean, like a bunch of stuff. Like anything people go through on a daily basis. You know what I mean, people passing away. Like your neighbor down the street complaining because you know what I mean, like everything, just daily struggles, bro. Like people. I mean, everyone handles shit different. Everybody go through different shit. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
I remember like the most problematic time of my life is when I had my own crib. Because I was just doing whatever, bro. So it was like just every day something crazy, hectic was going on. It's crazy.
I gotcha. And what was like the pandemic and COVID like for you?
That shit was wild. Like, I felt like you got to see firsthand though, like how crazy and how like what am I trying to say? You got to see firsthand like how fast the world can change. Like these people feel this certain way, these people feel this certain way, and then it's like at that point they're kind of like beefing. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like you would see on Facebook and like on the internet and shit, people having disagreements about this and
over anything,
you know what I mean? Anything, bro. So it's like you kind of see firsthand like how crazy the world can be. You know what I mean? And like it's all at the cost of what? At the end of the day, what was made? Money. You know what I mean? Money is the root of all evil. You know what I mean? I agree with that. But you can't live without it, so.
Yeah, I was just about to say that shit's necessary.
Yeah, what can you do? You know what I mean? You gotta be evil.
Everybody could use it.
I mean, I feel as though I'm not evil, but I see people do evil things for money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think you shouldn't be sacrificing your principles for money, and like you gotta realize like what is worth certain because like a lot of clothes, shit like that, you could really live without shit like that, and you just start to realize like what you should be putting your money towards and what you shouldn't.
Yeah, definitely.
I wanted to bring this up earlier when you were talking about like your grandma, your aunt, your cousin, and stuff like that, because to lose that many people at once, you start to think like, why?
Right.
You know what I mean? Why?
It was crazy. I almost felt like the family like was cursed. Like I was like, what happened? Like, you know what I mean? It was just like it's not funny, but it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, I
hear
you.
It was weird. It was just weird. Like it was weird.
There's this quote though where it's like whenever you lose someone close, it means like you got a blessing around the corner, or something big is gonna happen, and you're gonna need like guidance from the other side. Yeah, how does that resonate with you?
I've heard that before. Like I don't know. I feel as though my family members that have passed away. I feel like they're with me all the time. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy because like I feel like somewhat in a spiritual sense I was going through some things before, and like I feel like I got like more spiritual. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it was like I was having dreams at this time. Like I was having dreams all the time about like my friends that passed away and like shit like that. Like I felt like I was almost like psychic, not psychic, but like
I hear that. I be getting deja vu like a
you feel me?
motherfucker,
And it's
dude.
weird. It's like I feel like I was at the time I was having like these just weird like occurrences. Like it was weird. Like I told you about the one with my grandfather.
Yeah,
And it was
some
like
shit like that would have me like I wouldn't be able to let that go.
bro,
That's
I'm trying to tell you, like I still think about that shit. To this
yeah.
day. Like I feel
I
like
could picture it in my head, which is crazy.
it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. But yeah, it was like crazy because then like his like the face he had,
Mm.
it was like just hella concerned. You feel me? So like I like once I had to get surgery, I understood that. And I was
Yeah,
like, damn, I
yeah,
feel like he
yeah.
was concerned for me because
He could
he
see it.
died of a heart attack, and I could have died of a heart attack. You see what I'm saying?
And my mom's brother died of a heart attack. Fucking,
You know what I mean?
that shit kind of runs on my mom's side of the family too.
It's
So
scary to think. You know what I mean?
yeah, definitely.
But
Um, so I saw that you've also worked with Stephanie of Limelight Management. You
yeah.
said she's not your official manager, but she's been able to help you be more knowledgeable on the music industry and like what it takes to be an artist. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I mean, she is a official manager. Like she,
Right, I mean, but she's not like your official
right,
manager, right?
yeah, she was working with Lil Baby. I think she actually currently, like, I don't want to put her business out there, but
Right.
she was working with Lil Baby, and she actually had ties to QC. So like, we had like that bridge there also. You know what I mean? So like,
Did you mention that call?
yeah, I did.
I was
did.
like,
She
hey.
was like, no, that's crazy. But it's actually to speak on that call again. Uh, I actually met this one lady. She works at Hip Hop DX. I'm not sure if you know about it. It's like a podcast and like
Sounds
a
a little
blog.
familiar.
They're like a hip hop blog. But yeah, she was like, yeah, I used to work for Universal like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And I was like, that's crazy. I got a call from them 3, 4 years ago. And she was like, really? Like what was the number? And I sent her the number. She was like, wow. She was like, that's our general. She was like, that's our general office number. And I was like, damn.
Right.
I was like, you feel me? That's when it really sunk in that shit was real life. Like,
yeah, yeah.
like after all those years, I got that confirmation, like that I wasn't crazy. You feel me? Because it was like a battle I was going through. I didn't know what to think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I always think about like eventually I'm gonna have some big person reach out to me and I'm gonna be like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to take that shit in. I'm gonna be at work, like in a warehouse, like, someone, and I'm gonna be like looking at a text, like, because half the time when I be looking at my phone, I be thinking like, is half this shit even real?
Yeah.
Like when you start looking at
You can't believe anything you see on the internet.
exactly. So like, I feel like half the time when I'm just looking at texts and shit, I'm like, I don't know. It just don't hit the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting. I read that you wanted to get into engineering more so that you could, be a little more like self-sufficient, do things yourself.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, I was recording myself. I was recording myself for like, um, when I had my own crib and shit, and before that, I was recording myself. I really since I started up until I started working with Kruger. But yeah, I just always wanted to learn how to do it myself.
Have you had any progress with that yet?
I mean, I wanted to go to engineering school, but like, I mean, I still every day like try to look and learn some new things about it. You know what I mean? Like, I might look a video up or
Right.
you know what I mean, some shit like that.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So we were talking about Stephanie with Limelight. So like, what exactly was she teaching you and stuff about being a better artist and stuff like that?
She was just like, you know what I mean, she does artist development.
Okay.
So she, you know what I mean, was just teaching me like stage presence.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Formalities, shit like that.
Interviews, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
what to do, say, you know what I mean, for interviews, shit like that.
Right.
Yeah, bunch of shit.
Gotcha. Now, you also mentioned if you don't have any haters, you're not doing something right.
Yeah, for sure. If you don't got no haters, you ain't popping, nigga. But yeah, fucking, if you don't got no haters, bro, I feel like you're not doing something right. Because at the end of the day, somebody wants to, you like, if you're up here, you inspire the people that are like down here. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like they want to get up to that point. and some of them might hate. You know what I mean? Some of them gonna congratulate you. Like they gonna be like, damn, like that's the type of person I am. If I see somebody up here and I wanna do what they doing or I wanna be like that, I'm gonna. That's gonna motivate me. You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But some people take it the wrong way, and that shit just fuels something in them.
Yeah, it's that whole crab in a bucket analogy
Yeah.
where they'll bring you down and
Yeah.
shit. This is like the last note that I have. I was just curious because I know that you would upload on SoundCloud a lot. I don't know if you still do upload on SoundCloud a lot.
Nah, actually, I haven't uploaded on SoundCloud in a while.
Yeah. So I wanted to say.
What the last thing I put on SoundCloud was? You know what the last thing I put on SoundCloud was?
I only brought that up because
I think
like it used to be the app, and I feel like now it's kind of like falling off a little bit. Do you feel like it's still a decent platform, or you feel like there's better
I
ones?
feel like SoundCloud is definitely a decent platform, like for people to just get their shit out there for free. And I mean, you gotta upload your music, you know what I mean, to a broader audience than just SoundCloud. So I mean, at the end of the day, that's just another stepping stone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So do you have any other like upcoming music that's gonna be coming out aside from you said you have a tape with Zanman, and then
Oh yeah.
do you have any upcoming shows aside from the Wisdom Court Summer Jam?
I was looking into doing a couple of different things, but right now I was just trying to focus on stacking my bread and just, you know what I mean, taking shit to the next level, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Taking all the mistakes that I had before and turning them into lessons, you know what I mean? But yeah, I got hella songs. I got probably 50 to 75 songs unreleased that I recorded on my phone. And then I got probably another 2,000 something that I just wrote. Like I could show you. If my phone wasn't broke, I would show you right now. I got like 2,000 notes, all songs.
Hell yeah.
All songs. But
No, it's good. It's like I said, it's good to have stuff, in the backlog. Because if you ever get to a point where you're so busy you can't record, something in life comes up, then you got stuff that you could just put out there.
right,
That's why I never put out all my interviews at once,
right.
because
Hell yeah.
it'd be taking me a while to book them sometimes. So,
You
I
always
need.
want to keep that content and keep it consistent. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and you need your people to be like always waiting for something too,
Right.
because you give them everything you got, then you got
Right.
nothing to give them. They're gonna get all antsy, and then eventually they'll leave. So you always need a little something to give
Keep
the people.
luring them in, yeah.
Yeah, but that's also why you always gotta keep working hard and shit like that.
Yeah, definitely. That's the key. It's the key to success.
Yeah, was there anything else you wanted to add, bro?
Um, long live all my guys.
Hell yeah.
Free all the guys. Yeah. Shout out to guys.
Yeah, real shit. Thanks for coming on, bro.
All right, bro.